what's the thinking here? Just take a look at them, see if there's anything there.
Yeah, or you could say this one: leopards don't change their spots.
Yeah, there you go.
The Road Warriors had not approached the business any differently in this particular era than they did, by and large, when they first got in it. Ole Anderson coddled them. He took care of them, and I don't say that's a bad thing, but it gave them the false reality of what it really was. They're taking care of you now because you're young, you're getting over, and you're selling tickets. And when that ceases or starts slowing down, that trend is not the same trend it is today, then guess what? You'll be treated differently. So, and that's just how the nature of the damn business is. So they were still perceived in their own minds as this amazing tag team, and they were. I mean, the legacy of the Road Warriors is as prominent as any tag team in wrestling. Whether you love their style or you didn't, but they made an impact. They changed the way wrestling was perceived by a lot of people. But they still felt they were at that echelon, and they weren't. And they didn't want that. Was hard to accept. And then you add a little bit of drugs and alcohol into the mix, and what do you got? You got a calamity.
Yeah.
And a calamity not worth investing again in. And look, the interesting part, those guys could have made less money. They could have got back on TV as a special attraction, kind of like Andre back in the day. He just showed up every now and then, but it always meant something. And they could have done that. That could have increased their appearances and all their ancillary monies, but they just didn't. They didn't see it that way. And so they should have been attractions and reoccurring characters. If that had happened, then cool. But to be the tag champs and wrestle full time, because they couldn't hold up to wrestle full time, so that option was out the window. So it was just overthought by the talent, I think. And I had great times with the Road Warriors when they come in for Cowboy, and I'd hang around with those guys, and then they worked with me, and in WCW and so forth. So, but I always enjoyed the guys. They're like big high school seniors who are always pushing around the underclassmen because they're naturally bullies.
Right.
So what? At least you know what you got. And that's how they were booked. They were booked to be two bullies from Chicago who overpowered their opponents and generally beat them into submission, so to speak. So that was the situation there, Conrad. Just their time had come, and I don't know that I did a good job or Vince did a good job in sitting down with them and saying, here's where we are. Now, this is our opinion. Unfortunately, it's the opinion. And that is you guys will be making less money, working less dates, and still being able to keep your name and all that good stuff and get on this massive television vehicle. If you're great marketers and businessmen, you see that as an opportunity. You don't see it as a negative.
Right.
Unless you don't want to agree that your days are over. And trust me, their in-ring days are over.